What is the importance of optimism?
Optimism is open-ended and pessimism is closed-ended. Pessimism has an end game. It's called death. And optimism has an infinite potential. For the average person, to be sitting in the space of optimism is much more satisfying, whereas pessimism is basically stifling. There's a place for being pragmatic, but you can still be that way within the construct of optimism. I've had this conversation with other people in the finance business. The reason why pessimism sells better than optimism is that the story of pessimism is very easy to sell. And that's why most of the news you hear is pessimistic. I was a stockbroker on Wall Street for many years. If you're a salesperson on Wall Street and you're talking about a stock, it's much easier to get somebody to buy that stock by inducing fear than it is by building a story of optimism. Optimism tends to rely on vague and more subjective things like faith, and whereas pessimism is usually quantifiable. I could say to you back in 1998 that Apple Computer, even though Michael Dell just said that they should close shop and it's a piece of garbage at $16 a share, that Steve Jobs is coming back into the company and they have a thing called an iPod and the stock's going to go to new all-time highs. And people would say, I believe Michael Dell's story because I'm a rational, pessimistic person and I'm not going to buy into your hype, man. Well, now it's the biggest company in the world. It was all based on optimism and faith, similar to Bitcoin. The pessimists don't have a story. They're not even remotely in the building to have a story about the story, suggesting a story. Their history.